Thanks so much for joining us on today's episode of Techbridge. And if you are joining us for the very first time, this is Techbridge on Lagos Television. On Techbridge, all we do is talk about technology. We connect the dots all around the world of technology to ensure that you have technology working for you and not against you. I'm Shoyifimola today, and of course, probably I'm going to fly solo today. So I welcome you on board anyway. So today we'll be talking about something that technology has really brought to our table. And we know, and we always emphasize on this show, that technology touches every aspect of our lives. We're talking about ebooks today. Do you remember that the very first book that we can't really call book or printed material was by Gutenberg? And since then, there's been a lot of innovation, a lot of improvement on that type of technology. Now we have ebooks. So let's see how it plays, how technology can help you achieve your dream as a writer, as an author, so that you don't have to probably pay. There is a way you can do it without paying a kobo. Yes, you heard that right, without paying a kobo. So I'll go for a quick break now, and you'll be back after them. Please stay with us.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Odeme. I am a data analyst. Keep watching Techbridge on Lagos Television.
Hello, my name is Austin Abako. Keep watching Techbridge.
Hi guys, I am Toby Ayeni, aka Miss Techie, and keep on watching Techbridge on Lagos Television. You don't want to miss an episode, guys.
You're welcome back. The program is still Techbridge on Lagos Television. We told you that we'll be talking about ebooks today. And just talking about our figures with timelines and talking about ebooks. In 2013, over 512 million ebooks were sold in the US alone. And that is just in 2013. By the time it was 2015, we had about 20 million e-readers sold worldwide. You can see the gap. And like 2 years ago, that is as at the end of 2016, ebooks accounted for 23% of all the books sold worldwide. And in the US alone, 75% of all ebooks sold are from the Kindle's bookstore. That is to tell you something, that technology is taking over. So that means that you don't have to be at the mercy of publishers that take your time, that tells you that you are going to get your products in no time, and eventually it's going to take forever before you get it. And another thing is that when you have your book in the e-platform, it gives you more opportunity to reach wider audience. What do I mean by that? By the virtue of the internet, by the virtue of the technology internet brings to your table, you can reach a global audience. Unlike when you have a hard copy book that you have to put it at different stores. Now the possibilities are limitless. Now let's see that if you have an ebook with you, there are a lot of things you can do with it. Eventually, you can tell your stories, and we see stories can be in different genres. Of course, that is just for the people in the work of art. We're going to have a guest that is going to do justice to that. But a quick background about all of this. We see that there are different genres of books. We can have crime, you can have science fiction, romance, and the rest of them. You can have children's stories. And according to a research here, we see that romance is topping the chart. So if you enjoy writing romance novels a lot, you don't have to be afraid at this moment in time. You can put your thoughts to paper. When I say paper, then put them to system. You can even use your phone to put them down and get a very good platform to put it. So let's see how it goes. There are a lot of websites you can use to publish your ebook, and we have about top 3 we are going to give you now. The first one is talking about Smashwords. And let me tell you that before you put anything on any platform of ebook, you must consider something. Well, let me say, depending on your thought mind anyway, either you're making profit or you're just doing it for fun. If you're making profit, then Smashword is your very first friend you have. With Smashword, you can have about 80% of what you are putting in. It means that you can have your revenue saving up to 80%. And the second one is Lulu. Lulu is another one, of course. Each day, Lulu has over 1,000 new titles getting published. So you just need to join as well. And not only do they self-publish, but they pay attention to the small details of formatting and, of course, packaging and pushing your book out there for maximum effect. So it means that all of the stress of getting marketers, getting bookshelf to put it is off you. All you do is put your content there, then the marketing, the editorial, proofreading, name it, is handled by Lulu. you have nothing to lose. It's just your thought line putting it there. So we're going to have a guest from this moment, and we're going to see how it really works with ebooks and technology. Join us with the guest after this break. Welcome back from that break. The program is still Techbridge on Lagos Television, and I told you earlier on that we were talking about ebook. We've got a guest in the house that is going to do justice to that. I've got someone who is an online book distributor and is very vast in this field. Talking about Okechukwu Ofili. You're welcome to the program once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure here too. So we're talking about ebook, and we see that it is changing narrative most of the time when it comes to reading and acquiring knowledge. So let's pick it from this place. Where did it all start, talking about ebook?
For me?
Yes.
For me, it started when I wrote my first book. I was trying to distribute it in Nigeria, and I was having a lot of difficulties because you had to go from bookstore to bookstore to bookstore. And there was a point in time when I was being owed like 1 million to 1.5 million naira from bookstores cumulatively. And it was very difficult for me to get it. And eventually, when I got the money back, after a social media campaign, I realized that there has to be an easier way to do it. And that's when I started delving into ebooks. So I put my books on an ebook platform. And from there, I was able to distribute and reach a wider audience. But more importantly, I was able to get a system where instantly you know your sales report real time, and you can request your money and get it without having to do a lot of runarounds. So that's the big impact ebook has had for me.
Okay, when we say ebook, let's break it down for our audience.
Okay.
What is an ebook?
An ebook is basically a book that has been digitized, that can be read on the internet, on mobile devices. That's really it. And it comes in various formats like PDF, EPUB, Word document, Google Drive document, but that's an ebook.
Okay, but someone will just argue that when we talk about ebook, it probably has some level of limitation when it comes to hard copy that we have. Do you subscribe to that as well?
Absolutely. Ebook has its advantages and disadvantages, such in the same way hard copies have the advantages and disadvantages. For example, if you had a physical copy and you read a chapter or saw a sentence that was really inspiring to you, and you wanted to find it in the physical book, you would have to live through it. Whereas in an ebook for research, you just remember the phrase, you search for it, you'll be able to find it, you'll be able to highlight it. So they come with the advantage. Ebook, it's not as touchy-feeling as a physical book. You can't write and make notes on it as easily. So it comes with its advantages and disadvantages.
Okay, so let's assume I have a story to tell, and I want to go ebook way. So how do I go about that?
The basic thing you would do for an ebook is you would write your story, of course.
Of course, that is the beginning of everything.
You would edit it, design a book cover, just get people to give you some testimonials, and then you just ensure that you format it properly. Nowadays, ebooks don't require the ISBN number. The ISBN number is sort of like the Social Security or National Identification System of a book. But for ebooks, you don't necessarily need that. But if you want to get it, you can get it. But once you do that, you upload it and you've edited it properly, your grammar is right and it's formatted in the right format for the platform you're putting it on, then you can go ahead
and just push it out there.
Push it, yeah.
So how about the platforms? Because someone would just be asking that, okay, I've done all of this. So how do I put it online?
There are a plethora of platforms. You have the Kindle, you have the Wattpad, you have Okada Books, you have Kobo, you have Barnes and Noble. You have a plethora of options for you to put your book out there, and each of them comes with their different formats. Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to choose any of these platforms, I know they have their differences. They have probably unique features of each of these platforms.
Yes.
So what are the things to look out for?
What you want to look out for is transparency. You want to make sure that they have a track record of remitting their payments. You don't want to take your books and then
go with it.
Exactly. You want to ensure that they have a stable infrastructure. Again, you don't want to put your book on something that crashes the next day or has issues the next day. And then you also want to ensure they have spread. They have a large reader base, a large user base, because the more people they have, the easier it is for you to sell even more. And I think those are the three things that are really important: the reputation, the security and their growth market size.
Okay, so you've been in this field for some couple of years now.
Yes.
So in your own assessment, do you see this ebook thingy doing well in this part of the world, Nigeria?
The truth of the matter is that it's been slow. We know it's going to get there. Every indication from the US to Europe shows that ebooks will become the future, but it's kind of moving at a much slower rate in Nigeria particularly, because people are sort of stuck in the old ways of doing things. So we've gone to a lecturer in Unilag, for example, and said, hey, your students should digitize their books.
Yes.
And he told us, he said, yes, that they actually do that, that when he gives them their notes, that they just take pictures of it and then they put it on their phone and they get rid of the textbooks. But he said he would not adapt that, because if somebody walks into his office and doesn't see physical books, or they don't see his students carrying books, that they will feel that they are not real lawyers. So we are battling with that perception where people know that ebooks are better. They know that ebooks are more convenient, but because of that prestige of having a physical book, they don't want to move away from it.
Okay, so when we say the next 10 years, talking about ebooks in Nigeria, how do you see that changing narratives, especially in our schools, and how people acquire knowledge generally?
I think ebooks will democratize publishing, because first of all, publishing is very expensive for the physical books. I mean, you're looking at 1 million to 1.5 million, and majority of publishers are not going to put that down for a book that hasn't proven its worth.
Yes.
So I see a situation where e-publishing becomes more predominant because of the cost efficiency that it has, and it would become a testing field for a physical book, because how you perform an e-book will determine how you perform on a physical book.
Okay, so that means I can have the e-version and, of course, the hard copy version of my book.
Absolutely. And what a lot of publishers are doing now is that they are, like, if you look at the 50 Shades of Grey book, it started off like as an e-book, and when it became very popular, they gave it its contract. So I think we're going to be seeing that happen a lot more often. The other thing that we would see is that there are a lot of schools now, especially in Lagos State, that are going digital. So they have computers, they have tablets, but they don't have books to put on those tablets. So I see a future where those e-libraries become more robust down the line, and schools aren't just logging in huge libraries. It becomes a digital library.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back a little. You talked about the platforms that we can use, that it's easy, we get the story done, and we format it and put it in a very good site.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, how easy is that? For a layman, okay, I have the idea, I've written the story, and I can punch 1 or 2 buttons on the computer system. So how easy will it be for me to move from that point of putting everything together on the system to the point of putting it on a platform? Is there any technicality involved, or I have to get in touch with a specialist, or is it a DIY thing?
You don't have to get in touch with a specialist. If you give me $1 million to help you do it, I'll take your money. But what I always tell people is, if you can use Microsoft Word, you can do e-publishing. It's that simple. Even Google Documents has created a system where if you upload your book, you can just click convert, and it converts it to an EPUB formatted. So it's not something that is difficult or rocket science. And with the advent of the internet, you can go on YouTube and search for it. But if you're doing really complicated projects, like you want to convert a textbook that has charts, tables, images, it gets a lot more complicated, and you probably might need help, but everything is 100% learnable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably this will be my last question. Let's delve into the business aspect of it, really. From your experience in distribution online, what are the genres that are at the top when it comes to best-selling genres?
The 3 that we are seeing specifically is romance. Romance is really high in Nigeria, especially in the north. We see a lot of people writing, like 33% of the traffic we see on our platform are people reading books in Hausa language, romance novels.
Seriously?
Yes, it's a huge market for it. It's a huge market. A lot of people are not even aware of that. Then political books. they tend to do very well, especially with the political period coming up. So political books do very well. And then you have the memoirs, especially by celebrities. The Toke Makinwas, the Laura Ikeji's, those sort of memoirs tend to do very well because they have a huge following and they are already famous. So those really
they have a template to move on.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what would be your last word here that I want to do my ebook? And is there any challenge I must envisage? And how do you think I should prepare for that?
I mean, you have to keep learning. That's it, because technology moves so fast. The ebook has moved to an EPUB 3 format where you can embed videos, you can put audio, and you can do a lot more things with your book. So you definitely want to keep learning. But for now, ebooks are the cheapest and fastest way for you to get your book published, and you can make a large amount of money. We've had people on our platform that have made over 2 million naira, and you won't even know them.
Seriously, of course.
You won't know them, and you're just making a killing. So
the smile to the bank. And
so ebooks are your fastest way. Don't get caught up in saying that I must get my book physically published. You explore ebook and see what it can do for you.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts on Techbridge, Mr. Okechukwu Ofili, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so very
me.
much. That is Mr. Okechukwu Ofili talking about ebooks and how it all began and how you can tap into the advantages of it. So that is Techbridge. We'll be joining you after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break. I'm sure you've enjoyed that guest that is talking about ebooks and how technology is helping you to realize your dreams. And just an addendum to that, before I go, I'd like to tell you that there are self-publishing ebook stores, and of course there are strictly sales ebook stores. So if you have any of those platforms at your fingertips, then you are ready to realize your dreams. You can talk about Amazon Kindle store, and that is one of the leading stores across the world. It can accept different formats like PDF, and of course the Amazon's Kindle format, that is AZW, and of course Mobi Pocket Mobi. Barnes Noble Nook Books, that is another one, and it has over 2.5 million titles. It also supports EPUB format, that is EPUB, that is the most popular one, and of course PDF. And if you have to publish on Barnes and Noble stores, you have to use public sites in conjunction with affiliate marketing. And when you talk about affiliate marketing, they're your best friends when it comes to ebooks. And if you put all of this together, you realize that you are not doing much of the stress. The e-platform is taking all the stress off you, and you're realizing your dreams. We have an Apple iBook store and a Sony Reader. Those are just stores that can help you achieve your dream when it comes to ebooks and technology. So that means you can start telling that story. You can start telling that fiction. Most of the time, fictions sell more than real stories. Well, it depends on your platform anyway. So that is our show today. Many thanks for joining us. I hope to see you some other time. But before we go, I'd like to tell you that all our various social media platforms are available for you to use. And of course, on YouTube, Techbridge LTV as well. Follow us on Twitter. That is at Lagos Television, #Techbridge LTV. If you've learned something today, start doing something with it. Make sure that you do something with technology. I am Shoyi Fumola today. Hope to see you some other time.